Hello, everybody. I wanted to basically show you around my world that I've been working on for a few years now. And I'm really proud of it, and I hope that you enjoy looking at it. Um, Stay with me, and you'll see something really cool. So this is basically the main bedroom that I have built with, redstone lamps and a nice triple bed. Nice little work area, nice open floor plan. I could add some carpets, but I didn't really like how they looked. Here's the kitchen, nice diagonal. In this world, I've been trying to challenge myself as much as possible. Here's the kind of uh, living room kind of style where there's a little wardrobe and like another study little area and a couch and for reading and stuff, basically. And then you come out the front door and you come down this path. I'll show you the build up there in a little bit. But you come down here and here's a pathway that will lead to housing that is yet to build. But basically, you come around here, you get a little glimpse of stuff. But you come around here and here's the bottom floor of the other house, basically. And it's a second house. It's another whole totally different house. This one actually doesn't have a bathroom though, so ignore that. The other one didn't either, but because in Minecraft you don't really go to the bathroom. But either way, in here you come in and you would kick off your shoes. That's what this little helmet is showing, is that you would kick off your shoes. And as you can see, a lot of my builds are Japanese themed, and so this is the little divot that would you would first walk in and you would kick off your shoes. Here's a little bit of dirt, and then here's the kitchen, nice and pretty, and then the lights are hidden up here. Because this was one of my earlier builds, but the lights are hidden up here and stuff, and nice little cubbies for plants, and here's just the bedroom, and this is basically just where I would come in and sleep easiest. I like this little feature because the lighting above it really shows the painting and kind of brings the light onto the painting, like how actual art shows work. um, but nice little crafting table for crafting really quick. Then the next place that I want to show you is basically over here. This is my main storage area that I'm going to show you right here. This is my main storage area where I keep everything, my valuables and all that stuff. I had a beacon here, but I think I'm using it and I forgot to take the iron. But either way, my storage area and the four beacons right in the center. I get that it could be a little bit in the way and kind of all well though. It's kind of the center of my base. The next place I want to show you that I'm actually kind of proud of is my super smelter. This is my super smelter, and I have basically decorated it to look like a blacksmith area, and I really want invisible item frames, but I don't really want to mod it too much. I already have distant horizons and stuff like that, so sure I could because it's just a texture thing. But here you put in the ore, and then here you put in the fuel, and then this is where it would spit out a bunch of stuff. I was gonna make a bunch of end rods, that's why those are there. But yeah, that's basically it. Then here's a current build that I'm actually working on. And this is supposed to be like a clothing shop. So I wanted to get into um, item trims and trims and all that stuff and decorating the armor. So like here, I think this is a shoe rack. This is the shoe rack, and where you would like pick off the shoes and stuff like that. Basically behind here is armor stands. And then there's trapdoors here, and so it just looks like little shelves with the little shoes on it. I thought that was super cool. Here you can see the clothing racks. These are going to be for like the shirts, quote unquote. And it's just a nice little ring of the clothing stuff. These took a while to make. This one I think is still missing. Yeah, this one's missing too, and so I have to redo this whole one. And this one is going to be holding pants on the wall. I didn't know how to display pants properly, but either way, I think this will do. Same kind of thing there, but the pants are going to be a little bit higher, so it's going to almost look like it's just going to be a little bit different, look a little bit different once I actually put them on. Then these are going to be displaying the different trims. These are going to be where I display different trims and stuff like that for the different armor pieces as whole sets. And I think those will look very cool. Here is another shoe place, and this is probably where I'll show more trims, but it'll be basically shoes here, here, and here. And then, stuff like that there. Same thing on this side. And then, oh, I need to put in the little kiosks, the little desks that the workers would sit at and have you pay for stuff. And so that's this building, and I think it's very cool. Oh yeah, and then right here, there's going to be whatever trims that I like the most. There's going to be one item frame. I mean, one display here that'll show whatever one I like the most. And then if we come over here, this is my honey farm and my beeswax farm. And so behind here, oops. Oh, I don't have any honey. I must have taken it all. But either way, behind here is where my bee farm is. And I think it's super cute. And this side isn't set up, as you can see. So it's only running on one side, but that's all I need right now. And then I have shears up here to keep everything full. And I've built all of this myself. Oh, let's sleep real quick. See if we can. And we can. Okay. I have worked on this, like I said, for a few years, and this was my plan from the beginning with this world, was to make it wonderful and beautiful. This is my little like livestock and food area right here. So you'd come in. Here's the cows and the chickens. There's a lot of chickens here, as you can see, and a lot of cows. I don't really eat these guys anymore. I typically eat carrots, but the cows mainly for leather, and these guys for feathers, because at one point I did need arrows. But here's the food for them. Oh, and pumpkins and melons, because this is also the storage for my pumpkin and melon farm, which isn't here actually. But nice little storage area. This was also one of my earlier builds, and I just love how it looks. It feels very open, feels very like barn-like, but with a Japanese kind of feel with the roof design. And then we come over here, little snippet over there, but come over here, and this is my villager trading hall. It does have 2 stories, and I'm actually working on a third, but I have not gotten enough villagers to fill everything up because it's hard and villagers suck. So, but either way, I got the main books. I have, Depth Strider, Silk Touch, Mending, Efficiency, Unbreaking, and, I have them labeled there. And then I have other stuff here: Protection 4, Respiration 3, Feather Falling, Flame, and Channeling. Let's see what this guy's selling. Cursive Binding, of course. And then here's like, if I need a little bit of redstone just to top off every once in a while. And I got the cartographers because I was selling paper for a little bit, and item frames. I could for item frames since I didn't have a lot of leather at the time. And then there are these guys that basically I sell all my melons and my pumpkins to, because this is where all my melons and pumpkins are. I'm going to use a little bit of cheaty cam really quick just to show you. But in here is where all my melons and pumpkins are. I don't know. Oh, this is full. That's why. But here's all my melons and pumpkins. My melon and pumpkin farm, basically. And you can see that it just worked. But yeah. And then if we go up, here's the top story that we've seen. Obviously, no villagers. And then if we go down here, this is the bottom story, which I'm also working on. So there's still a lot of stuff in progress, but I like it. And then if we look right here, this is my pagoda that I built. I got inspiration from a tutorial, but I wanted to make it my own, and I took a few ideas. So mainly this right here, this top part, is from the tutorial and the general shape, but I changed quite a few things from it. But either way, what this is housing is my XP farm. So if we come back here, if they're even alive, because it breaks a lot for some. Wow, I can really jump high. Oops. Okay. Yeah, it's broken. So either way, there's supposed to be allays here, and then it would splash them with a potion of infestation, basically, and it would kill. And then I would kill those little fish down here to fix up whatever I need. And that's really it for now. This whole building just for that. I like aesthetics in this game. And then here's my mine shaft that I, mine in. Goes all the way down to Y level, diamond level. And then we have over here a nice little quaint area. I want to make this area kind of more of a zen area. I want a nice tree over here and stuff. But either way, I have this custom pond that I did. I think it's really beautiful, really nice, really cute, really detailed. And I want to put some tropical fish in there, but I just haven't yet. Actually forgot that I wanted to. But if I stand on one of the actual lily pads, I did a bunch of custom trees with this waterfall that is not very well hiding a portal, my nether portal, and a cave behind it, which I haven't done anything with, but I lit it up. And so this is where my nether portal is, and I think it looks really cool, and I like that. I like it a lot. Now, for the main thing that I am the most proud of is this build. This build right here. It took me a very, very long time to actually build. I'm actually going to go into FreeCam to take a look at it. But I did all this terrain. I did all of this all by myself. Not a single tutorial was used at all in the making of this. I made these custom trees myself, and I just made them the exact same on both sides. Obviously, I did some of this stuff in creative and then made it over here, but the terrain and everything is all of my own doing. It's even got a little spot for my happy gas to sit whenever I want to use him. Then the main feature of this is that there is a iron golem spawner for all my iron that I'm going to need for future builds, and you can see that the inside of this room isn't really decorated. But that's not the focal point of this build. I really think the most beautiful part is the outside like this, and when I go up these stairs and I see a very, very nice interior. I'll let you take a moment to take it in. And if you can't tell already, what this is supposed to be is kind of like a hibachi grill, where you would come in and cook all your stuff on the grill or the hot pot. This is supposed to be a hot pot kind of thing, and that's like the trash can, for example. And same thing over here is it's the family table, but it's got a little hot pot, or the little plate that you would cook in and cook all your raw meat and people that already cooked and their fish and all that stuff. This is more of just a regular dining table, and so it's kind of like a hibachi grill slash regular restaurant mix, and I just love it. I love it so much. And the kitchen, I think this is really cool that I got a little sponge and little sinks with different different water levels, and candles all around, decorating it. These vents are actually a custom design by me as well. If somebody came up with them before, I just wouldn't know. But either way, it's just two hoppers facing into each other and a dropper over some smokers acting as nice little grills. And this is the storage, quote unquote, for the entire restaurant. And it's basically just full of iron and poppies from the farm above it. Um, and yeah, that's basically it. I also really like these. These are the new-ish paintings to me. And if you notice that I took the time and actually outlined it with the color of the background, because I wanted these paintings to kind of extend out and really catch your eye when you're looking at them. And so I have, the black on the top because that little black right here is most prominent. And then I have the white around the sides for the white. And then same thing over here. This one was actually more fun because there's more detail to the edge. And so I had white over here, more of a blackish gray, grayish blue from the terracotta, and the green on the bottom, as well as the blue for that edge. And I think it really ties it together. It really shows the beauty of these pictures. And these lanterns kind of go with the Japanese Asian kind of style design with the little sun logo, and I just love it. I love it so much. I spent so much time on this build, and it's finally done. As far as I'm gonna do for now. These seats are just leather caps facing the other way on armor stands, and these armor stands are actually on amethyst, because that is what gave me the proper height that I needed for for this for this. So yeah, one more build. Let's actually take the proper path. I also love these paths right here. These paths are so nice. Oh, I don't have a proper path to actually get up there. Okay, whatever. Either way, I need to make that more of a path. But you come up here to this nice and terrain that I did. I did this with calcite and snow and different variety of levels of snow, and I think it just gives it more of a texture and depth, and I really like that. And then for the paths, I did diorite because it kind of looks like packed snow. You know what I mean? Like the dirty packed snow of a path. There's this nice hidden little cave that I thought of, and I thought it was really cute, and it was a really simple, easy design that I did, and it really just gives life to this whole area because it almost looks like a forgotten cave that's left in the mountains from old settlers. And it's got the little pots that I found from the trial chambers. Nothing in these barrels or anything, but a nice little campfire and lanterns. And I think it's really cute. And up here is a tea shop actually, And in here, you would just come in and grab your little tea and then come out. And it's also a camp spot. Also a camp spot. And it is sitting right underneath one of Zoro's swords. Zoro's swords. And I really like One Piece, and I wanted to somehow integrate it into my world because this is a Japanese themed kind of area that I'm in. And this sword is Shusui, and it's one of my favorite swords. He got it on Thriller Park. There we go. He got it on Thriller Park actually after fighting. I at the time I thought was one of his relatives, and I think it actually is like his great great grandpa or something. But yeah, this took me a while to develop at least. It didn't take too long to put it in because it was just going back and forth between creative. But it's one of my greater builds, I think, because I pulled it off pretty well. I feel like for Shusui. Um, and it doesn't have the sheath, obviously, that with the circles that are like iconic to Shusui, but it's got the purple blade and the kind of the Shusui look to it. I feel like, and it's also got the Shusui cap on there and the handguard. And I think I got the curve fairly subtly good. I don't know. It's obviously sitting into the build, but I think I did it. I think I did it fine. And this was basically just an excuse to make Shusui. And I wanted to put a little building underneath it. And these are using the new shelf blocks as a wall to give more depth, as well as banners for more of like a window kind of feature with light back there. And from a distance, I think it just looks good. Here's the campsite with basic just campsite detailing with the campfire and everything like that. Here's the little tent where you would actually sleep. Your little plushie. I used a dried ghast as a plushie because I felt like it was super cute, and they can be used as decoration like that, and I love it. I love it so much. Um, a little carpet and everything, and it just gives you an amazing view over my lovely little world. So thanks for watching, and see you guys next time. Bye.